Hello and welcome to the Pony Podcast. Today we are at Bourton Vale Equine Clinic. We're talking to Misha and we're going to ask her some questions about equine flu because it's been in the news a lot recently and we thought we should try and get you some of the facts rather than just reading Facebook posts.
Facebook.
I mean, I'm the one that posts on our Facebook, so...
So first of all, what is equine flu?
Okay, so equine influenza, much like human influenza, is a virus that can be spread from horse to horse, but also on objects like fomites. It's similar symptoms in horses as in humans, snotty noses, respiratory problems, and they also most likely and most commonly you can see a fever, like a temperature.
And it's both infectious and contagious, isn't it? So it's in water droplets as well as like if they rub on something.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be spread by carriers, people, other horses, water buckets, shared grooming kits, rugs.
Okay.
So if you think you've got a horse on your yard that has got a little bit of a runny nose, maybe isn't looking quite itself, what would be your advice?
Okay, so the first thing to do is not panic. I feel like a lot of people in this situation have been panicking. So I guess if you suspect that your horse might have equine influenza, obviously there's a lot of things that can also cause a temperature and a runny nose. So, but if you do expect in this scenario that it is equine influenza, then I would definitely, the first thing to do is isolate the horse. That means taking it away from a shared airspace, a barn, and it's not just a stable kind of next door or just around the corner. Try and get it across a road or the other side.
100 meters or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So as best you can in the circumstances you're in. I would then also barrier nurse it. So wear gloves and either dip your feet in and out or your.
It's easy to buy Virkon and like other disinfectants and stuff to dip your feet, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Disposable gloves are really cheap as well. You can get them, and if we go as far as putting it on coveralls.
Yeah.
And don't let them have their own head collars. And
own
everything,
shavings, forks, and that
exactly,
sort of thing.
Own buckets, don't share them. So that's it. So I would isolate it, and then I would also take its temperature. Thermometers you can just buy from Boots or whatever. Take its temperature and monitor. Obviously, a normal temperature is around from 36.8 to about 38.5. You would, that would be very normal.
Yeah.
Obviously, each horse differs. If you're getting into the 39s, then you would worry about equine influenza or other infectious causes. So monitor temperature, and then obviously lastly, if you are worried still, then call your vet in the first instance. It's quite easy to test for equine influenza. So it's just a nasopharyngeal swab, quick easy test that we can send off. So call your vet and they can come and do that.
Are there any precautions that with it going round? Are there any precautions people should be taking, or?
So we have advised, and you've probably seen a lot of Facebook posts from vets, that we're recommending you vaccinate every 6 months now. Racing have implemented, the BHA have implemented that horses aren't allowed to run if they haven't had a vaccine within 6 months. Yeah. The local hunt has also implemented that as well. They won't let you go into the hunt meet or unbox your horse without seeing your passport and seeing it's up to date with vaccines. I think a lot of competitions are doing that too. So it's kind of, some disciplines have authorities such as the BHA which are implementing plans, so please check with your local authority which is planning it. But also, yard owners are saying that all their, they might implement that your horses have to be vaccinated within 6 months, and this is due to there is suggestions that the immunity provided from a vaccine does not last 12 months.
Yeah. I heard that it was a different strain as well.
So
it could have been vaccinated again.
Lots of people talk about strains, and actually what's more important with the equine influenza is the clade type. Okay. So a clade is just a way of classifying it. So you have equine influenza. Within that, it's split into two clades, which is clade 1 and clade 2. You have different clade systems. The main one is based on the Florida clade system. So it's clade 1 and clade 2. Within each clade, you have different strains. So they have stereotyped this one as, well, typed this one as clade 1, okay, which is covered by most vaccines. Equilis is the one that we use, the brand that we personally use here, and it is covered by clade 1. Most vaccine brands do cover the clade 1. Some do not cover clade 2. The last outbreak, I think, don't quote me, was to do with the Olympics in 2002.
Yeah.
That was clade 2, whereas this has been typed as clade 1, and it is covered by most vaccine types.
Okay, cool. So if you've sort of isolated your horse and your vet's tested it and it comes back as testing positive, is it easy to treat? How serious is it if your horse gets it?
So I think, as this gets drilled quite a lot in human medicine, obviously with a virus, antibiotics does not treat a virus, which is the main thing, you know, we have to keep in mind. Yeah, exactly, because, you know, and if your horse is sick, all you want to do is give antibiotics, but it's not going to help in this case. Unless they have a secondary bacterial infection, it's not going to help, which is unlikely. So giving it TMPs that you've stored in your cupboard for 3 months from a previous horse, or 3 years in some cases from a previous horse, you know, that had a cut, that's not going to help in this case. A virus isn't treated by antibiotics. So what we're saying is usually it runs its course, you know, like human flu, it runs its course.
You
the
just
horse,
go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. The horse, they might be, you know, off their food a bit, feeling a bit rubbish and feeling a bit sorry for themselves, but usually it runs their course. So there is no treatment. There, you know, antivirals wouldn't work, and there's not really such thing you can treat influenza with. So just really keep a high plane of nutrition, fresh food, fresh water, keep them feeling well in themselves. You know, lots of love and attention, and they will get through. Obviously, you want to worry if the horse hasn't been vaccinated, then definitely seek veterinary advice, because there has been some tragedies in horses that haven't been vaccinated, unfortunately. So if it isn't vaccinated, then definitely seek veterinary advice, and just keep monitoring, really. Keep an eye on that temperature twice a day.
Okay.
That's great. I don't think we've got any other questions, have we?
No.
If anyone has any other questions, we can always come back to the Equine Clinic. And so you can email us at theponypod@gmail.com, or DM our Instagram page, which is @theponypodcast, or DM us on Facebook, which is The Pony Podcast. I don't think we've got any other social media handles, do we? No, that's it. I hope this has been helpful for everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.